What is up? Welcome to another edition of SacTown Movie Buffs. Once again, I'm Kier. Unfortunately, there's no Jason here. He's going to be out for a little bit. So there'll be a few reviews where I just kind of do myself for the time being, but he'll be back in the fold hopefully in the next week or so. I am back to review a new film that is only playing in theaters, and that film is The Woman King. And I say without further ado, I say we get right into it. So the Woman King, stars Viola Davis. It's based on true events, basically about a group of female warriors led by Viola Davis's characters in a tribe in Africa, set in like the 1800s, and the tribe is called Dahomey. It's kind of funny to me. It's like Dahomey is the tribe, and basically it deals with around the early 1800s during the slave trade. So at this particular time, a lot of people may or may not be aware, basically. So during the slave trade, there were Europeans that came and took Africans and took them to America and other parts of the world for slaves. But they were actually aided by Africans themselves. And this tribe and there's another rival tribe that actually were part of that whole struggle and process. And so basically what they used to do is basically give up captured people from wars and battles, and basically would sell those captured people off as slaves, and then they would go to other parts of the world and be basically slaves, predominantly America at this particular time. So Viola Davis's character and her tribe basically are trying to, in a nutshell, kind of get out of the slave trade in this film. They kind of would rather get profits not off of selling their own people to Europeans and Americans and white people, basically, in a nutshell. And that obviously creates some struggle and some tension, because the rival tribes are basically saying, no, we want to continue this, and you have to do this, and the Europeans are telling them basically the exact same thing. And so that a battle's going to be brewing. So the film basically stars Viola Davis's character and her group of basically all women warriors. There are some men in the tribes as well, and basically they go out and battle and do fights and things of this nature and kill rival gangs or tribes, I should say, not gangs, just for prosperity and things of this nature. Meanwhile, it also focuses on a young girl in this film who basically was said to be like married to a man, and this was back when you had to it was like arranged marriages, but no women would take them. And so for women that weren't taken, they either had to leave the tribe, or they could be donated basically to Dahomey people, and basically they would take over them, and the king at that particular time would he could marry them if he wanted to, or he could have them basically as part of their elite women fighting forces. And that one was played by Thuso Mentubu, who plays Naui. And so she basically comes there, and so it also shows her basically being implemented into the woman tribe, and showing basically what they have to do in order to become part of the king's elite fighting force, if you will. And so there's a lot of that in the film also. So it does star Viola Davis's character, but there's a lot of other secondary characters that are in there as well. It also co-stars LaShonda Lynch, Sheila Atim, and then John Boyega, who everybody pretty much knows as well. He plays actually the King Gizzo in this particular film as well. I'll just shorten up. I did like it. I thought it was a good film. I enjoyed the story. Had a lot of good action sequences and scenes in this nature. So it was an interesting film. I didn't necessarily love it, and I kind of went into it with some apprehension, I guess, if you will. One, it was PG-13, which, it is what it is. I know they wanted to get kids and young girls involved so they could see the film. But I just feel like if you're going to have a film about the Woman King, about this elite, fighting force of women that are going out and killing and attacking men and things of this nature, I would have loved to see a little more bloodletting and that sort of stuff as well. Everybody points out, they do chop off some heads off and things of this nature, but it wasn't quite as gory as I was hoping for it to be. You're looking for a big battle film. You're kind of hoping that's going to be like a rated R film, so they can really get into it, if you will. So that was a little bit of a knock. It is a little bit long. It's like 2 hours and some change. So it's a little long, not extremely long. I wasn't bored by any means, but there is a little bit of a length problem. But overall, it was fun. It's a good popcorn flick. I thought Viola Davis was great in there. It's good to see a woman that's clearly probably in her late 50s, early 60s, doing these action moves. And I know she had to do a lot to get into shape for this. And the other slight issue that I have is not the film's fault. It just happens to be coming out and this happens every so often. There's films that come out that look very similar to another film. And so as everybody knows, Wakanda Forever is coming out in November. And so this film looks a lot like Wakanda Forever as well, because Wakanda Forever is basically about an elite, woman fighting for us, after the death of, the Black Panther. So there's a lot of similarities in those films because they're both set in Africa. Obviously, this one's set in the 1800s, whereas, Wakanda Forever is kind of more of a futuristic look and feel to it and that sort of stuff. Or it's set in present day, but I think it's kind of futuristic looking at the very least, with all their high-tech gear and gadgets and things of this nature, whereas this one's a little more primitive. But a nutshell is it's basically predominantly women, within this elite army or units in both films, and they're fighting off their adversaries or enemies and that sort of stuff. And so, obviously this is a good film. I enjoyed it, but, I think most people are probably, I think it made like 19 million at the box office. So it was a hit. But I think most people are predominantly probably going to go see, the Marvel version, because it's just going to be a bigger hit, unfortunately. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was fun. I'm going to give this one, I think I'm going to lean towards a 3 out of 5 on this one. So I did really like it. Like I said, I had some slight issues with it, but I thought it was a fun film. It's not the best film I've seen all year, but it is interesting. I do like the story. And then I do know that there are some people that there have been some boycotts and things of this nature regarding this film. I don't know if it really affected the film or not, but some people have argued about the historical accuracy of the film and things of this nature, which I don't know enough about that to get into that debate. But, most films that are inspired by or based on a true story are going to have historical inaccuracies. So I don't really understand what the gripe is about that. But like I said, I'm just going to give it a 3 out of 5. So it's a big smile. No teeth in this case. And let me know down in the comments, have you seen The Woman King? Did you like it? Did you not like it? As always, if you like the channel, we ask that you like, subscribe, make sure you hit that bell notification, and we'll be back again with another show for you guys. We thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day.